So last time I had just been down here. You got anything to
Couldn't
say?
stay away, huh, lovely?
You know anything about Scintilla's disappearance?
Listen, I don't abduct women. They come to me. And they keep coming back.
Okay,
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, subtle, but I think I know what you mean. I'll be going now.
Whatever. Just remember.
Okay. Where is this guy? Stairs. Or maybe this isn't his place. Yeah, that's it. There. Is he around?
Get out of my villa before I have...
Okay, he doesn't want to say anything to me right now.
So you survived the system. Probably just a stroke of fortuna. Don't get cocky.
How much coin do I have? I have enough to buy that, but it's too late now. Yo. Door's locked.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Yeah, it's on the floor. Don't know why she's on the floor.
You there? I'm sorry to trouble you, but I couldn't help but notice that fine bow you're carrying. No idea how you managed to get your hands on it, especially in the light of our dear old magistrate's bang, but I'm impressed. And before you ask, no, I wouldn't dream of trying to buy it from you. I have no use for a wooden bow myself.
You're lying.
But I would like to propose a joint business venture of sorts.
Go on.
Tell me, do you have any idea how people here end up as golden statues?
Statues come to life and fire golden bows at arrows at
And here I was thinking I was the only one to figure it out. In any case, supposedly one or two of those arrows is enough to turn a full-grown man into gold. Now, of course, that is a travesty, a terrible, horrible waste of human life which has to be stopped. And yet, on the other hand, I can't help but think of a tale told by that Greek fella Aesop, the goose that laid the golden egg. With the ability to transmute organic matter into gold, one could create infinite wealth. Use your imagination. Golden animals, insects, trees and plants. The Midas touch without the drawbacks. We are talking riches beyond imagining. And even if we were to split all those riches between the two of us, half of infinite wealth is still infinite.
Yeah, but where are you gonna spend it? I think the golden goose is meant to be a cautionary tale.
Look, I might have skimmed over that one, but don't be so pedantic. Are you interested or not?
I'm interested.
Excellent. So the first question is, how do we get our hands on one of those golden bows? Now, I have a plan, but first, tell me, are you familiar with the story of the goddess Diana?
Not really.
No problem. Allow me to explain. Diana is our goddess of the hunt, the moon, and the underworld, depending on who you ask. The one thing priests and poets agree on is that she carried with her a golden bow and a quiver of golden arrows. And it just so happens that there is a shrine of Diana in this very forum, with a prominent statue of the goddess herself. And would you like to guess what she's holding in her hand?
A golden bow.
Precisely. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in that temple staring at it, trying to figure out how to retrieve it without breaking you-know-what.
But you want me to steal it?
Oh, gods, no. If you tried that, we'd all be dead within moments, I'm sure. No, here's what I propose. You give your bow to me, I cover it in a thin layer of gold leaf, and we create a replica of a golden bow. Then you enter the shrine, extinguish the braziers, and under cover of darkness, swap out the fake for the original. It's not theft exactly, it's more of a trade. But make no mistake, this is a dangerous path, and there's no way of knowing where it will lead. But in my experience, all the best adventures begin with a risky first step. Now, you must have questions. Ask away.
Isn't that extremely dangerous?
When Prometheus stole fire from the gods and became a hero to all mankind, do you think he was worried about the danger?
Yeah. What happened to Prometheus? Remind me? I don't think it was anything good.
I'm more of an ideas man, whereas you're obviously the more resourceful and heroic type. I have complete confidence in you.
Why can't I just take it?
Because the gods would see you, of course. Hence my proposal.
That's all the questions
So,
I had.
are you in, partner?
I'll do it.
Wonderful. Now, if you'll hand over your bow, I can get started applying a layer of gold leaf. This is a quality weapon. Now, bear with me for a moment. And here we are, a gold leaf bow.
Cool. Because I am sure.
Now, I've
that
gone and
that's gonna
unlocked the
fool
Shrine of
gods.
Diana for you, so as quick as you can, head on inside. It's just at the end of the street on the left. May the gods not watch over you.
Hey, Fabia.
You took care of him?
You had a tragic accident in that shrine.
An accident? So, it's over? Oh God, that's such a relief. I really thought we were all going to die. I do have a question though. That shrine, the one I was going to hide in, did you know it was going to collapse?
Yes.
So you kind of murdered him then?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, so we don't admit that.
You... And... I don't Oh, I promise, nobody else will ever know what you did. But I know. Oh, speaking of which, welcome. I'm Fabia. Sorry, I was... Oh, there's not much to tell. I mostly just bake bread and try to help out where I can. I suppose it all started about 8 months ago. I was living in Rome with my family when I got sick. Terrible timing. My pa had just arranged a husband for me, a fisherman's son. I was about to meet him for the first time when I came down with an awful fever. I spent the next week in bed. Pa paid priests to make offerings to Asclepius, a white rooster, then a goat. But nothing worked. In the end, they decided I'd do better outside the city. Clean air in the countryside would do me good, they said. But after about a day in a carriage on the Appian Way, I was getting worse, not better. I remember closing my eyes for a bit, and I guess I must have fell asleep, because when I opened them again, I was in a forest by a river.
Sounding an awful
I
lot
suppose
like
the driver
everybody here
took
is
off with his
already dead.
fee and left me for dead. Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to catch what I had either. Anyway, I went searching for help, stumbled across the trapdoor temple, and here I am. Oh yeah, I suppose you're right. Hadn't really thought about it. But the gods are mysterious and powerful. Who knows what their plans are for us?
Do you know where?
What? You've been here a few moments and you're desperate to get out already? Good people here. Galerius works hard on the farm so I can put food on our tables. And Lucretia tries to... My friend Georgius is always mending our clothes. And Virgil makes sure these old walls... Well, I'm just saying, there are worse...
Don't belong here.
Well, I can tell from your funny accent you're not from around here, but that doesn't mean you're...
What do you think of Golden Rule?
Oh, I try not to worry about it. I mean, if people are nice to each other, we won't have anything to worry about,
Yeah,
will
the problem
we?
is people aren't nice to each other. Have you met people?
You're funny. I bet my friend Georgius will like you. And those interesting clothes of yours. And I'm sure he'd love to chatter about the Golden Rule with you too. He'll be just across the forum in his shop.
Any idea who's threatening Virgil?
Terrible shame, that is. Maybe this'll help. Late last night, I was cleaning my oven when I heard some noises outside. The forum's usually dead quiet at that hour, so I came out to see what was going on. To be honest, I thought maybe poor old Dooley had got out of his cell and was snooping around again. So I popped my head out and saw someone in front of Virgil's shop. I couldn't tell who, it was too dark. I called out to them, but they just turned and ran off without a word. All I remember is they ran past a lit torch and the light glinted off something metallic. Armour, I think. So I suppose it could only be one of three people. Horatius, Domitius or Rufius. I hope that helps.
Thanks, that does help. I'll be going now.
All right. Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
Okay. Nice.
Is that you, partner? Do you have the bow? Wonderful. Just go ahead and slide it under the door for me and I'll unlock it for you.
Yeah, I shouldn't have trusted you.
And yet you did. And now, here we are. With me out here and you in there. Until you give me my bow.
How's this not against the Golden Rule? You said you'd split the riches between the two of us.
No, technically, I never said that. I said, if we were to split all those riches between the two of us, infinite wealth is still infinite. It's hardly my fault if you can't tell the difference between a hypothetical and a promise, now is it? Oh, I do love a good loophole. not a very effective threat, is it? See, your first problem is you're in there, and I'm out here. Your second problem is the golden rule. What are you gonna do? Kill us all? It's an empty threat. The bow, now. And don't even think about giving me the fake one. I'll recognise my own handiwork.
Even if I gave it to you, you'd probably just leave me in here and get it.
I would reconsider my position quickly if I were you. I'm not sure if you noticed, but you're stuck in there with a hornet's nest, and they can be rather aggressive toward intruders. You know, some say it takes 27 hornet stings to kill a man, but I always wondered how anyone could have known that. Let's find out how many it takes to kill a woman, shall we?
Well, I am think he did me in. Interesting. Algae? What about it? Oh! Thanks, if that was you. I feel like I recognize this crevice. Navia's journal.
My beloved Galatea, I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad or a monster, but I don't care what they think. Everything I'm doing here, I'm doing for you. I'll start at the beginning. Soon after my arrival here, as I walked down a corridor lined with golden statues, I thought I heard a whisper behind me. A rasp of air, as if vocal cords of metal strained to say a word or two. I tried to dismiss the idea, tried to concentrate on my work as the city's medic, but that tortured whisper haunted me. Weeks later, in the hallway to the bathhouse, I heard it again and found myself drawn to the statue of a Roman woman wearing a stola. Her face was contorted with anguish and fear, and disturbingly, it was as if she was looking right at me. As I walked past her, I heard that strained whisper again, and turning back, I discovered that even though I had moved, she was still looking right into my soul. That was when it dawned on me. This was no statue. This was a woman trapped within that golden prison. Naturally, I told the others, but when I could not reproduce the results of my experiment, they would not believe me. But from that moment on, I knew the full horror of this place. Immobilized within these statues are living human beings. It was that day, my love, that my heart broke.
don't need to keep turning to look at me like this. Come on. Ugh. Forgot to gild it. Quiver of arrows. Where have I ended up? Is this inside the temple? Or the palace? Freeze the bow.
You're not supposed to be here.
How do I heal? Oh, it slowly refills if I don't take any damage. Where did Navia go? And did she set them on me? Yeah, I heard you the first time. I don't want to go down there. But game's gonna make me go down there. Yeah. She's been doing this. She's been peeling the gold off of them and running like this.
Thank you. kill her.
Okay, just give me a second, I'll do it.
Make it stop.
Okay. What was the point of that? Was there a point? No. Okay. Okay, I can't leap over that for some reason.
My beloved Galatea, after I learned the terrible truth about the golden statues, I wandered the city as if in a nightmare. What must life be like for these poor souls, entombed in gold, but kept alive somehow? Trapped in their own personal Tartarus, consigned to eternal torment, too horrific for any sane mind to comprehend. I tried to offer them what small mercies I could. I began to talk to them, to keep them company. I'd imagine backstories for them, give them names, and tell them of the world, of the histories and stories I'd learned as a child. As the others became more concerned by my charity, I sought solitude from them, preferring the company of my tormented charges. Discovering a way into the abandoned palace, I began to spend my days walking its halls and sharing with its occupants ancient tales, my mind turning to those of Apollo and Daphne, Perseus and Medusa, and Pygmalion and Galatea. Pygmalion, the sculptor who fell in love with a beautiful statue, and who, praying to Aphrodite for aid, discovered that his beloved Galatea had come to life. It was then that I heard you whisper to me, Galatea. Forgive me. I know that is not your real name, just one I have borrowed from a story. But when I turned to look at you, I saw the most exquisitely beautiful woman I have ever known. Your face, forever frozen in a look of haunting sadness. Our meeting gave me new purpose, to free you from your golden prison, so that I might one day hear you speak, not just whisper your true name to me. So I gathered tools for the long and difficult task ahead, barred the doors to this place, and set to work.
Sorry about this. I just need you to get out of my way. No, 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 no. Just stay there.
Fated stalker. Kill us.
beloved Galatea, my attempts at freeing these souls from their golden prisons have not been going to plan. My first charge was a Greek woman who I called Iodame after the Athenian turned to stone by Medusa. Drilling through the gold that encased her, I was vindicated by the discovery that beneath half an inch of gold, which is so rigid it must be some kind of alloy, was living flesh. Unfortunately, this golden alloy seems to have fused with her skin, so removing it exposed the sinew and muscle beneath and appeared to cause her great pain. At first, I braced myself, expecting that inflicting such pain would break the golden rule, and yet, somehow, it did not. It seems whichever god is responsible for imprisoning these poor souls does not care about their suffering at all. They are forsaken. Undeterred, I pressed on, working late into the night, attempting to remove the golden layer that encased her as delicately as I could. Eventually, I was able to free most of her body, but when I released her from her restraints, her first act was to lunge for my throat, clawing at me with all her strength and those sharp metal talons. This was my thanks for trying to save her. Whatever possessed Iodame to attack, she was clearly not a suitable subject for my experiment, and I was forced to lock her inside an isolated wing of the palace and bar the door. As I continued working on others, I could hear her flailing and launching herself at the other side endlessly. Regrettably, my other experiments bore similar results, and after relocating a few times, most of the palace is now too dangerous to work in. Still, as much as my heart aches to know that you're suffering, I cannot risk attempting to ungild you yet. Not until I have perfected a method that will bring you back to me, whole in both mind and body, and ensuring your humanity is preserved. I promise you this. One day we will be together, even if I have to free every last statue in this god's forsaken place.
Oh dear. Let me test. No, I didn't think so. Stand still.
Kill me. Thank you.
Just doesn't seem to get what she's done here. No. Please just stand back. Algae. whispering to me through the statues somehow. Who are you? You must be Nevia.
And you must be the wretched snake who broke into my palace and disturbed my experiments. And worst of all, look at what you made me do to her. This never would have happened if you just stayed away. You're going to pay for that. You think you can bring me down with your little wooden arrows before I jam this blade into your throat?
Well, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to imprison you in gold like the others.
What? How? That's impossible. You're trying to intimidate me.
This golden bow is the weapon that encases people in gold.
Liar!
I can demonstrate in Galatea if I have to.
Really? I'm not sure I believe you. But if you can undo this mess, I'll give you the key to my old medical chest in the Shrine of Apollo. I imagine it would help Lucretia ease the suffering of those still in the city. But if you're lying to me, I'll break the golden rule and kill you and everyone else in this city. Understood?
Alright, stand back.
You did it. You took away her pain. I don't know what to say. Thank you, thank you. I swear I will never harm her again. I swear it. I'll stay here to keep her company. But these poor souls, what can be done for them? I've tried everything I can. I fear the only one capable of releasing them properly is whichever god doomed them in the first place. In any case, I must honor our bargain. Here's the key I promised you. It opens a chest in the Shrine of Apollo. I believe there are a few things in there which may be useful to Lucretia. Now, please leave. The door here leads out onto the palace balcony. You should be able to make your way down from there.
Goodbye, Nevia.
Go, and never return.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
So you survived the cistern. Probably just a stroke of fortune.
Are they?
Right, where are you?
Salve.
the recipe. It's dead simple.
And yet, you managed to elevate it to an art form somehow.
You old flatterer. What are you like?
Feeling all right? Well, come.
Hello? Hello?
What's your story?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
What did you do?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
Did someone think you were going to steal?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Is that all?
They said I did it more than once, but I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
A liability?
Yes. They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you think you could read it for me?
Magistrate Xanthias to Dulius. I'm writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behaviour arising from your possession of an alleged lost treasure. While I am sympathetic to your plight and the passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns, which are strictly off limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited lest you break the golden rule. It's my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you were incarcerated, should you experience further lapses in memory.
What does it say?
It says they caught you trespassing several times and they locked you up to stop you from breaking the golden rule.
My treasure!
Treasure?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. And he said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns, but when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me, except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
If you give me the key, I can try to find out what it was.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Let me talk to the magistrate again.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what. What about the rules? I don't want everyone to get in trouble because I was bad. Like Galerius. He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
Let me see what I can do. What do you
Gold?
think?
You mean
Never mind.
you're going to let... Oh. Galerius. Like, if you... Hannibal said... My friend he said he gave all I remember. Now nobody... Bye-bye.
Okay.
Oh, it's so pretty.
You look well, my sartorial friend.
Made themselves scarce, did they?
Same thing I've made every day for the last 5 months, Georgie. Bread.
Where was that? I think it was in here. I did see some ways that I can climb up somewhere. Temple of Athena, where was that? See.
Oh, it's so pretty.
This definitely wasn't the one I was in because there was no hole in the floor. Ouch. Okay, that doesn't do anything.
That lamp! Never have I seen its equal.
It's done with disappearing out. No, steal. I don't know if that is accusatory. That might be. Many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Where the heck did you go?
So you survived the cistern. Probably just a stroke of fortuna. Don't get cocky.
May have been down here, I saw that.
You? Who are you? Did he send you?
I'm Robin. Nobody sent me.
Do you know you're here? You have to help me escape before that monster comes back.
What's going on here?
I'm Scintilla. I found a way out through the Gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he locked me up. He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key.
Who did this to you?
Sentius, my adoptive father. Furies help me. I'll castrate and crucify him.
How hasn't this broken gold road?
I don't know. He said the gods are on his side because they don't want us to escape either.
Where's the way out?
Behind me, there's an aqueduct tunnel bringing water from outside the city, so it should lead us outside. The only problem is it's barred by a heavy locked gate, and he has the only key.
What do you do if I release you?
I'm going to take that key from around his neck, even if it means cutting his throat to get it. I'm done caring about the golden rule. I just want out. Help me, and we can escape together.
first.
There won't be enough time. Just you and me. What do you say?
Play around everyone up so they're ready to escape once the golden road is through.
There's no time. Wait, did you hear that? He's here. Quick, you have to let me go. It's now or never.
I'm sorry, but if I let you go, everyone else is going to die.
What? No, you can't just leave me here.
Not heartless, just rational. Escape isn't worth the lives of everyone here.
I hate you. I spit on you. I hope Dis drags you to Tartarus. You're back. Oh, thank you. Now Wait. Did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
You're human garbage, you know that?
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. It's a shame, really. If you'd just done what you were supposed to, you'd have been looping through time forever until you gave up and killed yourself. Just like that soft-hearted pleb, Al.
So you killed Al.
Come now. Surely you didn't think you were the only one here who remembered everything. You see, my connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories from one loop to the next. Whether that was Proserpina's intention or a happy accident, I'll never know. But I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. Here I was thinking you're a little bit sharper than Al was. Or perhaps you're just more willing to break the rules. He was a moralistic fellow, never once compromised on his principles. And because of that fatal flaw, he relived this day many thousands of times before we finally had this conversation. I watched him come through the portal each time, always a little older, a little more disheveled, a little more haunted. And when he finally saw the futility of it all, as you're about to, it broke him. He drank a jug of wine, tied a noose around his neck, and took his own life, just before he was shot with a golden arrow. The next time I awoke, you showed up, but you've caught up to where he was so quickly. I'd have preferred if you'd given me more time to enjoy the trappings of my success. How many extra days did you give me? Just the 2? Not many. But don't worry, I'm sure there'll be another useful idiot who comes along after you're dead. In any case, there's no escape for you except the path that Al took, the path he wrote about on his tablet. What was it? Ah, yes. Better to end it all now than find out what awaits you beyond that portal. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
You knew there was a way out, and even locked up your own daughter to keep it a secret. Why?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached to all this. My title, my beautiful villa, the sun on my face, the music of birds chirping. And as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I get to enjoy it all, over and over again, for eternity. Don't you see? I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely, to cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself?
So you asked me to figure out who was going to break the golden rule, knowing I would fail every time.
Of course. There's no way you could have succeeded. Every soul who has ever found themselves here has broken the golden rule eventually. It is inevitable. Man will always sin sooner or later. Any idiot could tell you this. But where others might see tragedy, I saw opportunity. As I told you the first time we met, I found a way to cheat death. By reliving the same day over and over again, forever. And I will continue living long after your dust.
I see you cheat your way out of this.
Do you really think you could take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bird?
I probably could, but I'm gonna let her have this one.
Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
Oh!
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fray. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Al Worth? I came in here to find you.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm Robin. I was hoping you'd know who I am.
Funny you should ask. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kinda rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the shrine of Proserpina. Freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city and turning them into gold. Apparently, the only person to survive was Scintilla, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
Weird. That definitely wasn't me.
I didn't for one moment think it was, but the way you say that makes me wonder. I mean, how many people with that name could there be in this place? I don't understand how you could have been here 2,000 years ago.
When I first arrived here in the present day, I found your corpse hanging from a noose.
I'm sorry, come again?
Still have the suicide note you carved into this tablet. Here.
Let me see that. God, why does this writing look so familiar? I've spent a lifetime in this place going around and around in circles. This is disturbing. But I don't understand how I could have written it.
It was written by a different version of you. I changed the past and your fate.
I'm not following.
I helped Scintilla kill the man who opened a time portal and drew you back in time, preventing it from ever happening.
So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this.
Now you're getting it.
I guess you saved my life then, as well as helping that poor woman to escape. That's a lot to take in.
Enough talk. How about we get out of this place?
Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct Scintilla used, if we can find it.
It's right here in this cistern. Follow me.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good idea.
You go on ahead, and I'll be there soon.
you're back. But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
I found him. He'll be here in a moment.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
I discovered the ruins of an ancient underground city.
Really? Sounds amazing. And did you... Oh, look! Here he comes. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of... well, my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy. That woman. I don't suppose her name was... Scintilla?
How could you... what?
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I was waiting here. I think she meant for you to read it. Here, take a look.
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but I want you to know that I will never forget you, or what you did for me. It pains me that so many dear friends were not so fortunate. Ulpius, Sentia, Lucretia, Horatius, Galerius, poor Dooley, and the others. But please understand, their blood is on my hands, not yours. I will live with the consequences of my actions, and all I can do is move forward, trying to show others the same compassion you showed me. I promise you that saving my life will not be for nothing. Scintilla.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first, you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you?
Karen.
Are you ready to go home?
Oh. Okay. I think I know who she is. We're gonna skip the credits and start over because that was just one ending. Continue. Where does it start me back from? From my previous save, right? Okay, I have to walk away from this. That's the opening that I saw. Okay, up this way.
Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
What's the space?
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and Marcus Malleolus Gurgi. As agreed, we shall dispense.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Everybody hide!
It was worth it.
Salve, friend. What? That's a big ask. But something tells me you're not kidding. All right, I'm gonna stick my neck out and believe you. But I doubt I'll be able to gather more than a handful of people.
Salve, friend. I'm Octave. Welcome to... All right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing?
That's the...
What?
Why do you...
I know. Please.
I'm sorry.
Please, I'll help him. Thank you.
You know about that? Well, you don't understand. It's too... If I backed out now... No, I am out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! I can't believe... And I'd best...
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Magistrate, yes, yes. Thank you. I'm delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. And now, I make this solemn promise to you. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. And, yes, your worship will come down excellent shelf, yes. Your worship will come excellent. A day of celebration, I hereby announce a day of celebration.
Oi! How did you get in there?
On your best behavior, I trust.
Can I steal the stuff from Galerius? Not Galerius. What's his name? Decius? If I steal it and run away, I can...
Don't you just
should
love
still have it,
springtime?
Salve.
Out of my way!
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Hide!
Salve, friend. What?
I'm gonna see if I can make it work like this.
Oh, you're here. And, there's some...
Not interested.
Why? Just... I take back what I... Let's just forget that. All right.
stairs
You
before.
stay away from my money.
Not going after your money, I'm just having a look around.
Cerberus lifts his dribble head
There you are.
and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
How did I get there? Okay, maybe go around.
What are you doing in here? She needs the... What? Yulia? Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normal. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
Honestly, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Ah, look. If you don't want to tell me, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. But no matter. That was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is. You made it into the palace. I'm impressed. How is Nevia?
She's alive, but she just wants to be left alone. Treatment is Willowbark.
Willowbark. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufius down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster. Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived. That's a shame. Thanks again.
Yulia?
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Can I ask what happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
I want to know how someone poisoned you without breaking the golden rule.
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
I have all the time in the world.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything.
And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
Thinking you'd be out of here before you ever had to pay back the loan.
I'm not proud of it, but yes, I was surprised he agreed to it, to be honest. But I was so happy to have the money I didn't question it. I had to sign an agreement, saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
Oh no.
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
Surely that would have broken the golden rule.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing. My hemlock.
So you poisoned yourself.
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what happened to you now?
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course. I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
I have a better idea. How much would it cost to buy your freedom?
A lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelia set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself. knowing I broke my promise to him.
Perhaps that can help.
I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Salve.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
Oh no!
A golden bow, just like a...
Don't you just love
Salve.
springtime?
Oh, another one fresh out of the baths, I take it.
Do it, don't do it, don't do it!
Salve, friend. I'm Octave. Welcome to life.
Actually, really need to speak
All
the
right,
obvious.
well...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing?
That's the...
What?
Why do you...
I know. Please,
I'm sorry.
please, help him.
Alright, I'll talk to him. Alpius, can we talk? No, no, no.
You know... Well, you don't understand.
Maybe I can help solve the
If I
problem.
back...
I've already saved Yulia's life, and I'd like to help you too.
Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both of our debts.
Wait, why do you need 2,000 denarii?
Yulia and I are in debt bondage.
I see.
So,
No, but I could probably raise the money if you give me some time.
no. I am out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Orpheus, no! I'll have to let... and I'd best...
How much do I have? Or it can be gilded, we'll see. That's nice.
Beautiful. Oh, do us all a favour and drink hemlock, Caput Murder.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and why you look like you've just taken on a gladiator and lost? What? That's a big ask. But something tells me you're not kidding. All right, I'm gonna stick my neck out and believe you. But I doubt I'll be able to gather more than a handful of people.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of...
Come on, come on, come on.
What she needs?
I have it here.
What? Yulia? Yulia? Hopefully, that was extraordinary.
Honestly, you wouldn't believe me if I
look.
told you.
If you don't want to tell me, that was like you just saved up. And maybe in the meantime,
I'll be going
that's
there.
a shame. May Apollo keep you. You safe.
She's not seen that. Right, I'll make my way to the top.
Salve!
All weapons are to be tossed into the cannon.
Yeah, screw your magistrate, mate. Oh no!
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
Doesn't look like she's getting up this time. How do I
Don't you
get
just love springtime?
Didn't I ask you to get everybody together and ready to go?
Salve, friend. Welcome to...
I need to talk to
Alright,
Elpius.
well...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there.
That's the...
What?
Why do you...
I know. Please.
I'm sorry.
Please, help him.
You... Well, you don't understand. It's too... If I... Oh, but we're still in... Really? Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then?
No.
You'd do that for us? A couple of complete strangers?
Of course.
It seems today we're both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed.
Here's your money.
Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic on my back.
Don't worry about it.
I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
On your best behavior, I trust?
Hey! You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
I know about your creature. Don't worry about me.
Well, it's your funeral.
You? Who are you? Did he send you?
I'm Robin. Nobody
Do
sent
you
me.
know you're here? You have to help me escape before that monster comes back.
I know. We've had this conversation before.
What? God, am I going out of my mind? Are you going to let me go or not?
I've told Galerius to lead everyone here when the Golden Rule is broken, so they can escape
How
too.
did you know? Wait, did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
As if I tell you.
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. It's a shame, really. If you'd just done what you were supposed to, you'd have been looping through time forever until you gave up and killed yourself. Just like that soft-hearted pleb, Al.
Wait, what?
Come now. Surely you see, but he was a, and because of that fatal, and when he, the next time I'd have preferred just the 5, not a lot compared with Al, but I've seized every day. In any case, there's no escape for you except the path. Better to end it all now than So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it? Of course, man will, by reliving the same day over and over again forever. And I will continue living long after your dust. Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached and I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely. To cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself? Do you really think you can take on a dick? Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. The others should be right behind us. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Let's see how many got out.
Hi there. Give me a bit of a fright. Well, funny. It described freedom. It said apparently Scintilla and a handful of other citizens managed to escape, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
Weird.
What? You're saying... let me see that. God, why did I've spent... This is... Yeah. So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it.
Now you're getting it.
I guess... Maybe we can escape through the same... I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured him. You go on ahead.
Alright, let's see. Is this a different ending, or is it just the same?
You're back! But... why don't you tell me what you just... Really? Ow!
Kinda lost track of and there was a tap. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when my new friend... I know how crazy that...
Maybe not that...
How could you...
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across... I think she meant for you to read. Here.
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but Octavia, Lucretia, Horatius, Equitia and I will never forget you, or what you did for us. It pains us that so many of our dear friends were not so fortunate, including Ulpius and Galerius, who heroically tried to rescue Dooley, but never made it back. But there is no point dwelling on what might have been. All we can do is take this gift you've given us and try to show others the same compassion you showed us. We promise you that saving our lives was not for nothing. Scintilla et al.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story. You two look exhausted.
Sounds good to me.
And you?
Okay. So... I've got ending 2, ending 3. So I need to get... I need to get Galeria selected so that I can release.
So you survived the system. Probably just a stroke of fortuna. Don't get cocky.
Salve! Salve again, friend. I went and... How is it possible that you've just arrived here? You're toying with me, right? You're a bit like... Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one.
How so?
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart, he was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way, forcing him to start over and over. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were. Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
You're a good man, Galerius.
That's kind. Now, I'm going to keep... Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me your bit. Salve again? Now. I've bounced the idea around, but from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's gonna... And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough. And how could you... Oh, wait. You've seen it in another time loop, haven't you? Well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses. Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether. If you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal?
Alright. We're going
All right, friend.
Rufius.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step. What business is that of yours? Willowbark. And this will work? Finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. I've been in a lot of pain. It was too much. Started messing with my head. I owe no idea. Yeah? No, I don't. I'll tell you this much. I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us?
I think you're right.
Malleolus. Not sure I trust. No. Fine. See you.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Citizen.
Help! You have... A man arrived in the... You have to...
I'll get right on it.
I have to hide.
Do not go in there.
What? Why?
Just trust me.
All right,
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is? Thank you for your service to the Empire.
Filthy, lying degenerate.
Greetings and salutations.
How much would you want to make me a bow?
You.
For the last time, Dacius.
You're the tragic
And
accident.
I don't. I promise. Oh. All right.
We all went along with the magistrate's weapons men, so it wouldn't be an issue. That's why I've got to get in first before someone else.
Salve.
A new face. Ave. And. Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else? Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else? Yes, I also had such an encounter. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
I did. A young woman.
And did you happen to catch her name?
Karen.
I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
She was wearing a hoodie. How could you have known that?
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
Alright, I'll meet you in the baths.
But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Hey, Adam. Today's been alright. I have unlocked 2 endings so far out of 4. Right, what are we looking at here, Equisha?
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N.
Yeah, I knew
As
it.
in
Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
This place is the underworld.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
So, we're dead.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
What can you tell me about Charon?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Why didn't you all recognize Charon immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kamut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
Were you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you.
That's all the questions I got.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have two options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
We can't escape the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Tell me more about confronting Pluto head-on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
Ouch. I have a few tricks up my sleeve.
I'll admit, you do seem different to anyone I've ever met. And even that lamp of yours looks like something Prometheus might have stolen from the gods. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
What can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Where would I find the Roman plaque?
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do
Christians.
that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
Where would I find the Greek plaque?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the Forum.
Where would I find the Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
Where would I find the mystery plaque?
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps finding the other three will illuminate the way.
Let's talk about something else. Tell me more about escaping with the help of Prosperina or a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
So she might be willing to work against him to help us.
If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
It's always the same voice, and she's helpful, if a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
I've already found a way to escape.
Truly? Then why are you still here?
Because that path will result in the deaths of nearly everyone here, and I don't want that.
Ah, I see. Then it seems you have made a great sacrifice for all of us, friend. I admire your compassion. Truly, thank you. But unfortunately, I'm afraid your only other option will be to confront you-know-who.
Alright, I'm ready to get started.
Alright. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone. In any case, time is of the essence. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Right. Go talk to Livia first.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world. So this place accepts all the souls, but it does not notice the crowds that come.
I figured that out. I know where we are.
Say it. Speak its name.
The underworld.
Then it is true. I was right.
You were.
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. And still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Wow, isn't that a big long bow? Ah, you're here. I'm so glad. And there's something dangerous about you.
Don't waste your breath. I know you're a horrible person.
How dare you?
Well, maybe that wasn't the right thing to say.
You stay away from my money.
Okay, so I finished talking to Livia. Let's see if I can talk to Aurelia.
Ah, you're here. And there's something. What was that? Let's just forget that ever.
I'm looking for Kabash. Have you seen him?
Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him, he was sitting at a table with Georgius, whispering about some job. I remember because they kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone else to know. So, naturally, I hovered. The one word I kept hearing was vanishing, and then, the next day, Kabash just disappeared. Coincidence? I think not. All right, see ya.
Okay.
fellow traveler from a faraway land. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. My friend, your words I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie to you, my friend, but even discussing this matter is dangerous. Please, let us leave the live coals safely beneath the ash. Very well, but the magistrate would not look kindly upon this, so please keep it to yourself. For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the Temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest, and yet the next day when I return, the food is missing.
Strange.
So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could spot a thief going in, but do you know what I saw? Nothing! Nobody entered. And yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again.
Where's the Temple of Demeter?
It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is the last building on your right. Gladly. And in a city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios and they think, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Douli. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him, in his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter. I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Looks like a long way down. It's
You carry the gift of Prometheus in your hand. Remarkable. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
I'm Robin.
It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here?
I'm looking for Kabash.
Ah, Kabash. I know this man. He came through here some weeks ago. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule?
Pluto, god of the underworld.
Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute. Very few come to that realization before their time in the sun is over. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue?
If I have to.
Good enough for me. Now, let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong?
Yes.
And to what extent? In every situation?
In most situations.
So, you're not entirely confident. That is quite sensible. Indeed, I'm reminded of something Socrates once said. To paraphrase, better to know that you know nothing than to know nothing and think that you know. It is because knowledgeable people have learned enough to know they know very little, in the broader scheme of things. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable, because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the Golden Rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
Of course. Whose version of right and wrong?
That is an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing? Let me guess. Is it yours?
When you put it like that, maybe not.
And that's a credit to you. It is the mark of a civilized person to change their position when presented with a superior argument.
What's your point?
My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong.
I'm not sure about that. What about do not kill?
Surely you would agree there are circumstances where an exception may be made, such as where it is necessary for self-defense or to prevent a greater evil. For any rule, you can imagine there are countless situations in which that rule may be suspended, and those situations are impossible to codify. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but
never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all.
I agree.
I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring an old man. I would be happy to answer your questions.
Do you know where I can find a plaque that was removed from the obelisk?
You seek the plaque bearing the Egyptian inscription.
That's the one.
It is a cursed object, and I would be happy to give it to you if Kabash had not already taken it.
Alright then, tell me where Kabash is.
I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, there are certain things you must know. Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. The architecture, the temples, and the people. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over, and renamed the things that could not. Thus, the Shrine of Persephone became the Shrine of Proserpina. And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans.
I'm with you so far.
However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place to me, and it is the very thing you seek. An even older plaque bearing an Egyptian inscription.
How did they get here?
We had no idea until years later, when the first of my friends began to die. As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern to lay them to rest. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which somebody had gone to great lengths to keep hidden. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our heritage. But it turns out this game has been going on much longer than any of us imagined. I think it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail.
What's in there?
There are certain things you must see for yourself. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Did we not discuss it at length already?
What's your
You
story?
mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave with nothing but these relics of the past for company? It's a long story.
I'm listening.
I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies, so I could argue more forcefully. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could, and I was good. One night I found myself in a tavern, in an argument with a drunken mercenary. It became heated, he drew a gladius, and I won the argument, but lost my life. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my skill, I failed. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community faced certain death under the Golden Rule. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place waiting for me. You see, I was not the first to take refuge here. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades' tyranny.
Hades. You mean Pluto?
They are one and the same. The Romans call him Pluto, but long before that, my people called him Hades.
Set? Maybe?
My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same fate by hiding down here. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job, and he'd send them after me again.
Why can't you tell me your name?
I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you and know I am still alive.
Where is everyone else?
I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12 of us in the beginning, but one by one, my friends passed away.
12
Some
of you,
from
huh?
malnutrition, others from madness and despair. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago, I'd not seen another person in many, many years.
Have you survived down here?
Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. Fortunately, I found that eating fresh fish provides most of the nutrients I need. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left in the temple of Demeter. The greater challenge is the isolation, so I like to imagine arguments, where I argue both sides. But, like so many things in life, arguments are better with a partner.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish.
Do you know where I
Huh. If I did, would I be living like this?
Fair point. I'll be going now.
I enjoyed our chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
Alright, I will. That's me going back up, I think.
Ah, you've returned.
No, I'm just passing through, don't worry. statues down here. So how could she possibly have been hiding from Pluto? He sees through their eyes, right? He hears through their ears. Where's... You would just stay still. Crying loud. Board for an ancient game called Senate, the rules for which are long forgotten. You carrying something there? No.
Stop! Do not come any closer. Who are you?
I'm Robin. Who are you?
I am Kabash. And let me guess. Another Greek or Roman come to loot and plunder the resting place of my ancestors,
Do I look Greek or Roman to you?
Trousers, boots, curious hair. No, I suppose you do not. Then what do you want?
I'm just looking for an Egyptian plaque.
To what end?
I want to return it to the obelisk.
That is welcome news. You really are not Greek or Roman, are you? I was planning to return it myself, but for now, I must remain. Here, take it and restore the honor of Osiris.
Thanks.
Now, as for the other plaque.
The fourth plaque? You know about that?
Indeed. I have it right here. I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit, and there it was.
May I have it?
You may not. In fact, I am about to destroy it.
Why?
Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie.
How so?
I will tell you, but first, do you know what this place is?
the Egyptian underworld?
It has a name, and that is the Duat. See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing together its story, and here is what I have learned. As Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish, their souls came here in great numbers, but instead of adopting our ways, they copied and corrupted them. When they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld, they desecrated it, removing his name and replacing it with Hades. Even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti, they renamed to Keron. As if that desecration was not enough, they built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to Pluto, and the cycle began anew.
So what's the problem with this plaque?
It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it is older than the plaque bearing Osiris's name. But if that is so, it would imply the gods of Egypt are mere imitations too, copied and corrupted from an ancient people who prospered even before us, and that my people did to them what the Greeks and Romans did to us. But this, I cannot accept. I sense a deception. Perhaps it is the work of Set, the usurper, seeking to undermine Osiris.
That's right, Osiris, is the... What does the inscription say?
You will never know. This work of sacrilege must be destroyed, thrown into the black abyss below in Osiris's name.
Please don't.
You are too late. It is done.
Now I'm gonna have to go in after it.
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up. Madness.
I'll find a way back up.
We shall see. You again.
What's your story?
I am from Rakotis, which you may know as Alexandria, the name of the city the Greeks built over it. I was a fisherman, like my father before me. Since the Romans had taken over from the Greeks, I took the opportunity to learn Latin and eventually traveled to Rome. When the fires broke out last year, I tried to help. I gathered terrified locals into my boat and led many of them to safety farther along the Tiber. On my 7th trip, a passenger demanded I wait for his brother. But we were full to almost sinking, and smoke was all around us. I told him his brother would have to save himself, and he tried to bribe me by placing a coin into my hand. When I refused, he drew a dagger and thrust it between my ribs. I awoke on the banks of the river to a stranger wearing a ram headdress. He said his name was Kerti, and at the time, I simply thought him odd. It did not dawn on me until much later that he was the Kerti, the ram-headed ferryman described in the Book of the Dead.
Do you know a way out of here?
This is where I belong, as caretaker of the memories of my people. If our ways are to be remembered, it falls to me.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I think if someone is to break the Golden Rule, it will not be me. For I try to live as I always have by the command of the goddess Ma'at. Do to the doer to make him do. As for the punishment that will come from it, I finally understand why it has long been said among my people that gold is the skin of the gods.
What do you think is down there?
I do not know. What could possibly lie beneath the underworld? Perhaps it is infinite darkness. Perhaps it is the lair of Amit, the devourer of souls. All I know is it would be unwise to venture down there.
Perhaps.
Most unwise.
I'll be gone now.
Good. Be gone from this place. Wait. You are planning to go down there. I see it in your eyes.
We'll see.
I urge you, return to the surface with the Romans. It will be safer for you.
Sumerian. Set up barricades. Looks like these Sumerians were trying to defend themselves from something. Oh! Does that trigger again?
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here.
There's no need for this to end in violence.
I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege, but you persisted. You have undermined and dishonored the true god of the underworld. How did you think this would end, if not with bloodshed?
Just hear me out.
Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy?
If something can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves to be destroyed by the truth. No.
Why? To what end?
I'm hoping it'll earn me an audience with the god of the underworld.
But why? What business could you have with Osiris?
I'm going to demand that he let everyone go.
Blasphemous fool! You have sealed your own fate.
If you attack me, you break the golden rule.
Good. I welcome it. You see, the philosopher told me that each time it breaks, Osiris bellows with rage, and his voice shakes the very foundations of the earth. I can only hope one more tremor will lay waste to this fragile place once and for all, and you along with it.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Where'd the philosopher go, huh? Now I gotta save up 2,000 denarius again. gonna save there.